Hi there, I hope you're doing okay. I wanted to share with you something that I discovered a few years ago, but I've been really reminded and challenged again about it recently. And it comes from the Gospel of John. And there's a phrase that crops up in there, and it talks about the disciple who Jesus loved. Now, it was probably John. I'm not going to go into any theological or great background, but it most likely was. But partway through the gospel, he suddenly starts calling himself the disciple whom Jesus loved. And I used to really struggle with this because it felt like he was being a bit arrogant, that he was going, I'm the disciple who Jesus loved. I'm the most important one. I'm the one that he loved best. I'm the favoured one. And kind of being very British, I didn't really know what to do with that and felt like, yeah, he was just a bit up himself, really. But then one day I was spending time with God and something hit me. I realised that the first time he uses this phrase is in John 13, and it's during the Last Supper, and he's sat there really close next to Jesus. Jesus has just washed all their feet. He's just spent a long time teaching them. They've shared food together, they've shared bread, and they've shared wine together. And I realised that maybe there was a sudden light bulb moment for John, that he suddenly got it, that he was the one Jesus loved, and not in an arrogant way, but suddenly that was the only thing that mattered to him. And it's from that point that he uses the phrase only a couple more times, but he does use it a few more times after that, and that became his identity. A lot of John's other writing is about God's love. And I've been really struck recently. Where's my identity? Who am I? Do I know that I am the one that Jesus loved? Because he does that for each of us. He looks at each one of us and says, you are the one that I love. And more than anything else, I want to know that. I want to live in the reality of that. I want that to be my identity, like it was for John, that I am the one that Jesus loves. And that's my prayer for us today, that we would have a fresh revelation of the love of God for us, that is our primary identity. And so I pray that as you go into today, whatever you're doing, whether you have very little to do at home, whether you are overwhelmed with work out on the front line, whether life's just crazy with all the family at home, but that today would be a fresh revelation of the love of God.